Welcome back, guys. So in this video we will model the tires and also the rim for this BMW car, and we will be done with the exterior modeling. So in the next part I'm going to start the unwrapping. So let us get to the modeling of the rim. So first thing first, let me hide the body and also the wiper, and then go to the side view, and then let us bring our reference image for the rim right here. I also provide the link in the description where you can get it. Yeah, so this is our reference image. So let me turn on opacity, reduce it a bit, and then put it back like this. And also I like to bring it up. I think, well, this should be okay. Then let me disable it in the perspective mode like this. So I also need to line the center of this reference image to the origin we have here. So let me move it in position, move it in the Y direction and also in the Z. So the first thing we're going to do is I want to make this inner parts of the rim. So what I like to do is I would like to line this part up with the Z line or the blue line. It has to be straight. All this part at the center, I like to line it up. So I'll just select my reference image and then press RX to rotate it like this. You can also move it in the Y direction like this. Also RX also rotate a bit, GY rather. And you can see the center of this V shape is lining up with the blue line. Also the center of this shape is also lining up, and also this one's, yeah. And that's basically what we want. So now we can start with the modeling. So first thing first, let us add a plane. Go to edit mode, scale it down, rotate it 90 degrees in the Y direction, move it up. We can scale it a bit more, and now we have to position it and then match it up with the reference picture. Select these two, pull it down all the way to this point, just like this, and then extrude this one in the Y direction and let it meet at this center. Let it touch the blue line rather. So for this we can just extrude it one more time to this point, extrude it one more time to this point, and then extrude it one more time. Yeah, let it be at the center of these ones. We just have to do it roughly for now. So this other part too, you just have to extrude it down like this. Extrude this one to this point. We extrude this also to this point. Then extrude it down to this point too. And you have to push it back. You also have to extrude this. Yeah. And then you can extrude extra vertices for this side. So what I'm trying to do is all this should line up like this. If I take this vertex and then extrude it down to this point like this, so all this one I can just bring it back to position just like this, and then I can delete these ones like that. So you also need to extrude this one all the way down in the Z direction, let's say to this point here. Also extrude this one a bit, take these two, join, add let's see 2 more loop cuts here, and you can bring it up just like this. Yeah, and now we need to fill this side. You can add a loop cut right here, extrude it in the y direction just like this. Also extrude it up like this, extrude it one more time, extrude it one more time here also. Then you can add a loop cut right here, slide it out, take these two vertices, fill it up, SZ0 to straighten it on the Z direction like that. So now for this part we can press Shift Ctrl B to bevel just like this. Yeah, and we can take this to bring it backwards. Let me slide this one out like this, and I think that's basically just the block out. So now all we need to do is fill the faces, add an extra vertex there, also add an extra vertices here, and fill this one up, also fill this one up, add an extra vertex right there, fill this up, also for this. Yeah, and hold on. Okay, I would like to add two vertices there, so you can just space it out and then fill this up just like this. So all we need to do now is add a mirror modifier, add a modifier, mirror modifier, and then we have to mirror it in the y axis. So disable the x and then enable the y axis, also turn on clipping. So this part has been sorted out. Now you can select all of these middle vertices and then move it in the y direction just to make it clip like that. So this is basically our, we can delete the inner edges. So now let us count the amount of spokes that we have in the rim. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're having 17 spokes in the rim. So now we want to use an array modifier to duplicate this round. So let us add an empty plane like this. We can also select this object, apply the scale and also rotation just like this, and then select the object, add an array modifier just like this, give it 17 counts, disable this relative offset and enable this object offset. Then we can eyedrop our empty as our object. Then we can go to the side view and then press RX, rotate it this way like this. So I think this is okay like this. This is okay. The spaces in between there somehow even. You can also rotate it a bit more, RX, just to make the spaces in between even. So if they are even now, we can just, let me delete these edges for now. Delete edges. Also delete edges for this. So now we can take this vertex, double G, and then press C to slide. Take this one also, press C, double G, press C to slide along the normals. Also slide this one along the normals just like this. I think there's too much vertices here. Let me slide this one out and then slide this one back to position. We can also go to X-ray mode and see how it joins. So we can select the empty back, you can rotate it to this point, and there I think it is roughly done. So all we need to do is, this part is too goes in too much, you can just slide it out a bit more like this. Yeah, and then if you turn on match in the modifier option, so all this part has been matched, so we are left with this part. You can just do this one manually. Yeah, so let us continue with the model of the ring. So this is the reference picture we have here. Yeah, so we need to fill the faces inside. So all we can do is just select all of these vertices, fill it up once, insect it, turning on boundary also like this, and then you can move it in to this point. I think, yeah, you can move it into that point, and then we need to add extra vertices. Take this to join. We're having, okay, you need to add extra here, and then join it also. So that has sorted, and the next thing to do is this one's also, you can just fill it up, insect it like this, and then move it in the X direction this way, and add extra loop here, join this to this. Let me add a loop cut here and just slide this one out just like this, pull it back. Yeah, so we can just take this two and then join it this way. But this part also, you can just slide this one out, bring this one in, move this out like that, and I think it goes inward too much, so I can just bring it out a bit more. Go to the side view, select everything like this, and then push it back out to this point or position, and there is it. That's it. So all we need to do next is extrude all of these parts in. So we can select all of these vertices. Okay, I'll need to join these two also. Double G C, and then make it clip. Can move this out. So all I have to do now is add a circle of let's say 80 vertices, with 80 vertices, and then we can scale it out just like this. Also rotate it in the y direction 90 degrees, and then scale it out to this point here. I think that should be okay. Yeah, that should be okay. And then you can bring it in the X direction this way, even just a bit this way. We can also extrude everything and then scale it to this point. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this part here, this one's that goes down and join with these spokes. You get what I mean? Yeah, I can select these vertices and then extrude it in the X direction till it meets this part here, and I can scale it, Alt S to scale, and let it touch this part right here, just like this. And you can also bring it back G X to this point. Yeah, we can select this part of the circle, also duplicate it and then separate. Select that duplicated part, and then we can scale it down to this point here. let's just leave this one for now. So now all we need to do is we need to delete this is our original vertices before we added the area modifier. So we need to delete all the vertices outside this place because we're going to join it to this part. So you can just select everything like this using circle selection, and then delete vertices. You can also select everything here, delete vertices. What the hell is this? Okay, so now we can add an extra loop here right at this center here. We can delete these vertices here, and that's basically just it. So this is what we need. So we can just join it to this part just like this, and now we can match this part to this at last. Also select this one, match. Okay, we have to match this one to this one at last. You can add extra loop cuts here and then match this part to this at last. So I'm matching this spoke to the circle. We can just bring this part up slightly like this, including this. You can bring all of this up slightly, and then you can space this one out, loop to space. That should do. So now what we need to do next is select all of these vertices here. Select all of this, we insert, fill the face, then insert it just a bit like this, and then we'll move it in the X direction all the way inwards like this. Let's see, it is okay. Yeah, then you can delete the faces. So we also do the same for this. Select all the faces, all the vertices, fill it up, insert it just a bit like this, and then we bring it in the X direction to this point, and then delete the faces like this. So this circle that I duplicated, that what I want is to make this inner part, yeah. So we can just select everything here and then bring it back to this point of the circle. Wait, hold on, no, not to that exact point. We have to just bring it back slightly, and also take note of where this ends. So it stops at this point. So this is the distance we have to consider. I have to consider the distance from here to here, which is also roughly here, this one, which is also roughly this. So we have that done. Now we can select everything like this, extrude it, right click to cancel the movement, and then we can just scale it out to make this part right here, just like that. And then this part has to come out because you can see the distance from here to here differs from the distance from here to here. So we just have to bring this one in the X direction, just like this. So it has to go a little bit more, yeah. And then we need to add extra loop cuts right here. Let me scale this one down a bit. So we need to add extra right here for this side, because this is what we're trying to do. This one like this, and then this one goes down, as you can see clearly. So this one has to go up, G, X. Just like this. So that's basically what we're trying to do. So we need to join it. Some can just leave it like this, but we need to join it together. So we need to join it together. So all we can do is yeah, select this other part, and then we have to delete extra vertices around and consider all of these parts. So we just have to select, using circle selection, select all of these vertices right here, delete vertices, select all of these also, delete vertices, delete vertices, and now we need to add extra loop cuts to join these two together. Let me add a loop cut right here, move it closer like this, and then we take this last one, you have to move it closer till it joins, okay, till it meets at this point. Yeah, so let me recalculate outside, also recalculate numbers for this, we have to flip this. Yeah, let me select the circle and join it to this. Yeah, so I can select this last vertex right here and join it to these vertices here at the circle of the circle at last, just like this. And then let me slide these vertices also, double G, slide to this point, and then I can take this last vertices at the back, join it to this vertex here, just like this. So now for this one, now I can just slide this to position like this, and then I can take this vertex right here and join it to this at last. Also, you can add an extra loop cut here, and then you can slide this one to position like this, and then select this vertex from the spoke, join it to this one at last, also like this. So we have this smooth flow like we have here. Now let us deal with this part too. Let me add an extra loop cut right here, and then I can slide this on to position like this. I can select all of these vertices here, double G, slide it to position here. Also select all of these vertices right here, double G, slide it to position around this point here. So I can take this last vertex, join it to this at last, take this last vertex here, join it to this one also at last. So we're having this, and then this one I can just join it to this. Okay, let me first slide it to position here, and then I can join this last vertex to this one at last also, just like that. And then this vertices at the back, we don't need it, you can just delete it, just like this. And we can fill all of this up, fill it up like this, and there we have it. Here we have that part sorted out. So this part goes down, so all we need to do now is select all these vertices here, fill it up, insert it a bit, just a bit, and then I can bring it all the way back like this. I think there's too much. Just a bit like this, and then you can delete the faces inwards, and then you can also do the same for this. fill it up, insert just a bit, and then bring it all the way in like this, and then lay the faces, and there we have it. And also these vertices, I don't need these vertices, I can just delete it like this, and that is basically just it. That is it. So guys, it is time for us to make this other part of the ring, or this parts like this that's flush with this. So right now we're having 1 2 3 4 5, we're having 5 vertices here, and we're having like 17 counts. Yeah, so let us add we need to add a circle of let's say 9 times 17, 9 times 17, which is 153. So we add a circle of 153. The reason why I said it, because we also have to mirror this to the other side. So we're having 1 2 3 4 5, 5 plus the other 5 minus 1, which is 9. So we have 9 times 17, which is 153 vertices. So let's add a circle of 153 vertices, and then we scale it out like this. Also rotate it 90 degrees and scale it down to this point, just like this. Let me select these two objects and then select this. Now I can rotate this to position like this. And now we're having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now I can select this vertices right here, extrude it, scale it out to this point. Let's see, yeah, to this point, and then extrude it one more time, scale it out like this, and then bring it in the X direction slightly. I also need to bring all of this out to get this depth from here to here, and then from here to here. Okay, I think this is okay. Then we can extrude one more time and then scale it out to that point. I think it's too much. Let's press X, Shift X, and that should do. So all we need to do now is delete all of these vertices right here. Delete all of these vertices like this. Also delete all of these vertices here. Now we're having 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we need to join this to this. Ctrl J, join. And now we need to join these vertices to these vertices, just like this. And let's see if I slide this on. Hold on, I need to add a loop cut right here, and then slide all of these vertices to this. Also slide all of this to this, and match by distance. And now I can just space this one out, space all of this one out too. Also space all of this out like this, and that's basically our ring. This is basically it's done. So we are basically done with the shape of our ring. So all we need to do now is add a subdivision surface modifier now. And also, before we add the subdivision, also you have to take note, all of these parts that are showing right here, they aren't match, so we have to merge it also. So we have to do that by sliding this one, moving this one in the y direction to make it clip, and then it has been merged. So all of these ones you want to do it manually. Yeah, so now let us add a subdivision surface modifier to sharpen our edges and then make our corners smooth. So this is it. what we have by adding the subdivision modifier. So let me disable it in edit mode. So let me sharpen these edges right here, or I can do this one later. All I need to focus on is all of these parts. So for this, I can just add a loop cut right here, move it close. Let's see, is it sharpened? Another sharpened. I can just add 2 loop cuts right here, and that should fix it. Also, we need to add a loop cut right here, and then move it close, just like this. We also need to add a loop cut here, but hold on, I think something is wrong. Yes, something is wrong here. We need to delete all of these faces at the back. So switch to face selection, delete this face. No, is it this one? Or okay, the top face, yeah. Delete these faces at the top. No? Which one? Yeah, the faces for this spike. So this face, delete faces, also delete face. Yeah. This is it. So all we need to do now is add a loop cut to sharpen this corner right here, and we also need to add a loop cut for this part too, also for this part, like that. And let's see, add a loop cut here too, also here. Like this. And to fix all of this, we can just join these two at center, also join these two at center, and then you can match all of this back, slide everything, match by distance, like that. And then we can add extra loop also for this part too. And yeah, we can add one more loop cut here, also one more loop cut right here. Oh, we need to pull this one back the X direction, like this. Yeah, so as has been sorted, also need to add a loop cut here, also another right there. So I think this should be it. This shape looking good. Let's see, let me add an extra loop cut right here, make that round, an extra, good. So let me add an extra loop cut right here too, and bring this one back slightly. And let's see, oh, this part is looking sharp, so we need to add extra loop cut here too, an extra right here also, to make that corner sharp, and move it slightly. And what else? Okay, this part also looking more sharp. We need to add extra loop cuts here. Okay, so I think this is it. That is basically it. So all we need to do now is just apply the, let me shade smooth and say again. Yeah, so before applying the mirror modifier, we have to duplicate this object in case we mess up some stuff. Duplicate it and then move to the trash collection like this, and then we can now apply the mirror modifier Also apply the array modifier like this. Yeah, so we can select everything, match by distance, 0 vertices removed. So for this part, we also have to change this one manually. So we can do by like going to extra mode, select all of these vertices, match at center, also for this. This is it. So all we need to do is just to make all of this a perfect circle. You just have to use loop 2 and then circle, loop 2, circle, loop 2, circle, also circle for this. So now we need to add extra loop cut to sharpen these edges. Right, add a loop cut here to sharpen the edges. Also these ones has to go down because just a little gap. We can scale this one out. Let's shift Z and add a loop cut right there. Also add a loop cut right here too. And that should do. That should fix it. So let me check our orientation. Good. We need to match these ones. Match at center. That is it. That is our rim done. So all we need to do now is add in extra details. Right now we're having 126 polygons. But if I go to extra mode, select everything like this, we're having just 7,000, roughly 8,000 polygons. So if you want to convert this to a game model, I can easily just delete the subdivision surface and we're left with 8,000 polygons, which is still a lot. So there's a way I'm gonna do some cleanups, like all of these extra vertices that I'm adding to sharpen the corners. I'll have to delete everything and then use Mark Sharp for a game model. So it's gonna reduce the poly count slightly. So yeah, that is it. The next thing for us to do is making all of this. So we can just select all of these outer loop vertices, extrude it inwards, bits like this. Let's see, extrude it in a bit, and so this is the rim of our car. Now this inner vertices just have to convert it to circle also, and then let us see what we can do with it. And we fill it up, insect, delete the faces, and then move it in the X direction just like this. We can add extra loop cuts here and here also, sharpen that, and extrude it in, duplicate this, move it, delete the faces like this. Then we can place our cursor here. Okay, then we can add a circle of let's say 32 vertices like this, RY 90, scale it down to match with this part, and bring it also back like this, and then we can extrude it in the X direction this way. fill it up. Also insect the face, extrude it again. Let me scale it down. Insect like this, and then we're having 1 2, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6, we're having 6. Then add a circle with 6 vertices like this. Alright, 90. Scale it down. Also bring it out like this. And okay, you have to follow this reference picture so you get what you're doing correctly. And then we rotate it this way. R X rotate it that way, and we bevel it. Shift Ctrl B to bevel like this. Apply scale, and then we can add 2 loop cuts here. Then select those 2 loop cuts. And then scale it down like this, just a bit, to get this round curve. I think it's too much. Just a bit like that. And then let's move this back. Extrude it in X direction. Like this. And fill the face, insect it, convert to circle like this, and you can pull this one out, up, and yeah, you can just insect it one more time, extrude it down like this. Insert one more time, and that should be where our logo will be placed. And now we can scale this up. I'm not gonna join this one. I'm not gonna join it. So I'll just do it this way. Yeah. So now let me add extra vertices to sharpen like our edges. And then add a bevel modifier, scale, recalculate outside, bevel modifier, give it 2 segments, reduce the amount, and let me add a subdivision surface modifier. Am I having extra vertices? Like this, like this. I think this should do. Just have to extrude it one more time. Scale it down, and then bridge edge loop, edges, bridge edge loop. So scale it all down, and then scale this one out, and that should do. And just reduce the level of the subdivision to 1, and add extra loop cuts here. Or just reduce the bevel amount to 0.3. Yeah, and then for this can also add a bevel, the same modifiers. Shade smooth and join to this. Let me see the height. Push it backwards, join. So there we go. You can also recalculate the numbers. And there we go, there we go, there we go. So this is basically the rim of the car. So if you want this inner part to be sharpened, you can just select all of everything like this. This manually. Select all of this. You have to select like 17 around, which is a lot. You can just insert it just a bit like this, just to make it flat compared to others. So the next thing we're going to do is the tire treads, the tires. So yeah, so it is time for us to model the tire treads. Yeah, so I have gathered some reference images for the tire. So this is the tire we're going to model right here. This Michelin tire. So I want to give credit to Roman on our station. I got this reference from, so credit goes to him. And yeah, let us start with the modeling of the tire treads. So for this rim, let me bring it to a new collection. Let me name it rim like this, and then hide it for now. Now we can go to the front view and add our reference image for the tire. Okay, this is it right here, and reduce the opacity just a bit like this. So now all we need to do now is trace the shape, like just trace on a single shape. So all we need to do now is we need to make something that goes like this, goes like this, comes like this, up, down like this. I think you get the idea. We just make all of these parts, then we can duplicate it to get the rest of the tire treads. Shift A, add a plane, go to edit mode, scale it down, move it up just like this, and then we can rotate it 90 degrees to this point. You can also scale it down just like this. Then we switch to extra mode, and now the first thing I like to do is trace the shape of the thread. So let me start from here. So let me place a vertex right here, Ctrl R, add a loop cut, and then move this one right here also, and we can move this one up also just like this. And okay, wait, first let me just extrude all the way to this point. Later on we start adding details, and then we extrude this one to this point too, just like this, and we extrude it one more time like this. But we want this one to follow this line, so we can add a loop cut right here, and then bring this one up just like this, and then move this one all the way to this point. We also extrude it one more time to this point, and then we extrude it X direction to this point, and then extrude it one more time down, and move this one here. Yeah, so this is basically the shape. So all we need to do now is just extrude it down like this, and then we extrude this one to this point too, and then we take these two vertices X, X0 to straighten it Also straighten this one XX0, and then we extrude it one more time to this point here. Straighten it also. We extrude it one more time to this point. Extrude it again one more time to this point, like here. So we just have to extrude it again one more time. This time around I'm going to be something simple, not too detailed. Then we extrude it one more time like this, extrude it one more time like this, and then we extrude it down like this. Then we can take this to XX0 to straighten it, XX0 to straighten this also, including this part. So all we need to do is just straighten it and bring this one back, and then fill this up like this. So right now this is what we have. Then bring this reference back and disable it in a perspective mode. The next thing we can do is select, if I select everything like this, duplicate it and then move it down like this, we can see this part is slightly matching up, but these ones, they are not matching up. So all we need to do is delete all of these ones like this, and all we can do for this part is just merge it at last. Take this one, merge it at last to that duplicated part, merge at last, and then here we go. We can also join this to this XX0, straighten it just like this. And now if we duplicate it one more time, you can see it is matching up. It is matching up. Yeah, so that's basically the idea for making this thread. So all we need to do is now is to add extra details. So let me add a loop cut right here, extrude this one more time to this point, slide this one out, extrude it let's say to this point, add an extra loop cut right here, also add an extra right here. We can take this to fill it up like this. I can add an extra loop cut right here, also right here. And also you have to take note, okay, we'll do this one later. I can bring this one up like this, slide this down, or hold on, okay, and you just slide this one out, double G, slide, then bring this down a bit. We can extrude this one also to this point, add an extra loop vertex right there, join it to this, add an extra vertex right here also, and bring it down just like this. Fill this up, and you also have to make it straight. You can take this to XX0 to straighten it, XX0 to straighten it, just like that. And yeah, one more time, extrude it all the way up like this, and you can join this last one to this just to give a chord. And we can delete these two edges, delete edges, fill this up like this. You can add an extra loop cut right here, add another right here, take this to fill it up, fill this up. Basically, then just fill everything up like this. Fill. We calculate outside. So let me just select this like this, and then flip numbers, and then fill this up just like that. And next thing we can do is add an extra loop cut right here, also at this point, also at this point. Take all of this, fill it up, add an extra loop right here, also at this point. Take all of this, fill it up. You can take all of these vertices, fill it up just like this. I can fill this up also. I can add the loop cut right here and also another right here. That's basically what I was meant to do. So you can fill this up like this, and yeah, so we can select everything like this, all of these vertices, extrude it up just a bit for these O's, and I can also extrude all of this up too. Extrude it up. Let me add a vertex right here and join this one to this at last, and I can fill this face up. I can also extrude all of this up, extrude up like this, add a vertex here, take this to join at last. Let me just fill all of this up for now. Add an extra loop cut here, also add an extra loop cut here, fill this up, fill this up, fill this up like this. Add an extra vertex right there, also another vertex right here, and then fill this up. You can fill it up. You have to match this at center. Yeah, so this has been filled up. So if I select everything and then duplicate it, moving it in the Z direction, so this O has been covered, this one covered, the O here also covered, and yeah, for this part now, this bottom O hasn't been covered, so you can just select everything here like this and then move it down just like this. I can bring this one up a bit more, also bring this one up a bit more. If I select everything here, duplicate it, move it down, you can see all of these parts are gonna join, but this part right here, this top part, is not gonna join. So we need to do, what we need to do now is let me duplicate this, Shift D, bring it down just like this. No, not Shift D, Alt D. I'll use Alt D, so in case if I edit anything here, it will affect the other mesh. So Alt D and then bring it down like this, and I'll bring it up slightly. Yeah, so I can select these two objects, go to edit mode. It's not gonna work, let's leave it. So it's this top part we're gonna adjust. You can just pull off these vertices, pull this one down like this till it meet at this end, and also pull this one down, and also pull this down also. So we can bring let's see, we can bring this up just to make it meet at that point, and you can also bring this up, also bring this one up, and then bring this up, also this. And now I can delete this one for now. Yeah, so that is basically just the whole shape for the threads. So all I need to do is refine this. So I can just press everything here, select everything here, XX0, to straighten it, XX0 to straighten this also, XX0. Yeah, so for this part, let's see. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything there, or I can just add a loop cut here and then pull it up just to define this curveness here. I can also pull this one up too, just a bit, and then pull this down. Yeah, just slightly, not too much. Yeah, so the next thing I like to do is making this O for this part. So let me just add a loop cut here, slightly like this, and I don't want it to interfere with all of this, so I can just select everything here, double G, slide it out like this. I can also slide this one out like this, and then join these two vertices, or just use a knife tool to add a cut right there, and then join. I can space it out too. I don't want it to be too choke, or the vertices to be too much also. And now to correct this one, let me add a loop cut right here, slide this one to this part like this. I can slide all of this, match by distance, and let's see. Okay, we'll need an extra loop for this part. One more loop cut here. Take these two, press J to join, and slide this last vertex to this part. So we're having a chord here, and for this I can select everything here, fill it up. Okay, I just need to dissolve this, and then slide this one back at center, and there we have it. Let me try to define this one, slide this one towards this point just to get that sharp edges at that part, and let me slide this one down a bit more. Yeah, so let me select everything here, duplicate it one more time down like this, and this is what we have. Cool. So I think everything has been sorted. Yeah, so all we need to do now is select all of these faces. Okay, let me define this one more time. I'll need like a sharpness around that point, and all of these parts too has to be sharp. Slide this one also just to make this it sharp at this edge, and slide this one also a bit. So I think we have to move it in the X direction a bit more like this, and then bring it down a bit like this, and then we can add a loop cut right at this point. So just to give a distance from here to here, so I'm just using this roughly as the distance from there. Yeah, so we need to also make this sharper at the end, and just slide this on towards that point just like that. And also we need to do the same for this side. And just bring it in the X direction a bit more, move it down like this, and add a loop cut right here, and then slide this down, also slide this down, and then slide this one down too. Yeah, so all we need to do next is select the faces that goes inwards. So all of these faces right here, select them, This is gonna stop here. Select all of these faces. Based on the reference. Okay. Yeah. Select all of these faces too, including this, like this. So once that has been selected, so then just insert it, let's say to this point here. Yeah, so there will be enough gaps, and looks like you need to fix some things here. Looks like that's the only part that I need to fix. So I can assign this one to a new vertex group, assign, and then I can slide this one out just to keep that gap. Yeah, and the reason why I assigned this is because I don't want to select it all the time, so I can just press select, and then all the vertices that I assigned can be selected. Yeah, so yes, just to move this in to this point where this where is it? Okay, where this part reached went inwards to, so we just need to move it in the y direction, just a bit like this. Okay, just a bit like this. This should be enough. Yeah, so the next thing we will have to do is delete all of these faces here for all these longs, this long gap. We delete all of these faces here. And delete, select all of these faces too, and then delete faces. Now to get the depth for these big O's right here, you just have to select all of these faces here, like this, and then we insert it just a bit, turning on boundary or turning off boundary. Yeah, and then we push it back slightly to this point. I think this should be okay. Yeah, so the next thing for us to do is, we've already gotten the O's cut out and everything, so you can select everything like this, shift D to duplicate, and then bring it down just like this. And now we will need to match up this bottom part with this top part of this duplicated object. So let me select this object P to separate. So I can select this one and then press double G. Okay, wait, I'll first need to line it up. I can always bring it up slightly, so this part will line up with this part, like just roughly lining up. Now I can select this one, double G, then press C, and then slide it till it meets this part. Press double G, C, slide it till it meets this part. Also, I can slide this. I'll just move this one down in the Z direction, move this in the X direction. You can slide it to you can slide it the wrong direction, so I'll just move it in the X direction and then bring it down like this. Also move this one up in the Z direction, and I can bring this down, all of this, just bring it down like this. And yeah, I'll need to get this bevel look for this part, So I just have to bring this one up. Then the top part of this reference, I can select this top part because this is the, I duplicated this like this. When I duplicated it down, the top part here is also the top part for this. So I can just select these two objects, select the top part here, the top vertex right here, and also select the top vertex right here like this, and then we bring it up GZ, just bring it up to this point like this. So I'm trying to maintain this chamfer look, so I don't want to interact with the bottom part. Now for this one, we can just deal with the bottom part. Let me bring this last vertex down, bring this one down also bring this down. You can zoom in so you can see what we're doing clearly. You can bring this down also like this, also bring this one down in position like that, and we bring this down also bring this down, and bring this down too, and then we bring this down also. So I want to speed this part up. It has been joined, and then we've closed up every white gaps. So this can be easily matched using the array modifier. So let me delete this one right now. Ctrl S to save our project, and then we confirm if we're not messing anything up again. Yeah, so we can press Ctrl A, apply scale, and also apply rotation, and then we go to modifier properties, add an array modifier, and X to be 0, Z should be 1, and then we adjust this Z value till it match up or close up with this part. So let me give it 0.3. Looks like it's too much. Let me go to the extreme mode so you can see it clearly. 0.5, 0.7, 0.7 is looking too much also. 0.75. Okay, let's say 0.72. Yeah, 0.72 works just like that. So if we turn off match, it's gonna match, but we need to change the distance of the match, because right now it's looking like it's taking some parts of some parts that are closer like this. When I click on match, it is matching some parts that are closer. So we need to click on match, and then we can increase the distance to 0.5 or 0.1. Yeah, and I think that works. It's worked, but all these other parts have not been matched. Let me apply the array modifier, and now I can see the reason why this part wasn't matched. You can see these vertices and these vertices, they are not on the same position. Also these vertices and these are not on the same position. So we just select these bottom vertices and then slide it to position just like this, and then these vertices here, we select this one also, which is the top vertices, press double G and then slide it to position like this. And if you press all match by distance, you can see those two has been matched. So we need to do the same for this. Select this bottom vertex, slide it to this point like this, select everything, match by distance, and then we go to extreme mode. You can see everything has been matched like that. So we can easily add our array modifier now. um add area modifier, offset 0, set to 1, adjust this value again, what it is at last time. Oh boy, I think 25, or 25 or 27, or let me see, it's 0.8. Maybe I click on match. So that has been done. So the next thing for us to do is we need to turn this object, this plane, we need to turn it and place my column set origin to geometry like this. I can bring this down like this, hide this other empty, and bring this one out like this, GX, and then let me add the other reference image, which is the side, which is this. Let me bring it up like this, opacity, reduce the opacity, yeah. And now I can add a circle RY 90 degrees, bring it up just like this, scale it up like this, just make it fit roughly. Let me bring this back and unhide this object. I can also move it to the side. So I need to adjust this according to the reference picture. So I can select everything out of the circle, fill it up like this, and then extrude it all the way to this point. Yeah, let me bring it down, this reference down like this, and then switch to edge selection, select all of these edges here, go to extreme mode, and then press Ctrl B, and then bevel with one segment just like this. So from here to here, that is the curve that we have, and can select these faces like this, and then insert it to let's say this point, and then we can scale it XX inwards like this, XX, and also scale it out to this point. Yeah, let me delete the faces, add an extra low cut here, also another here, select those two edges, XX, and then scale it out like this. So this will give us our tire. Yeah, I think this one is too deep, just scale it out a bit more, and that should give us the tire. Yeah, and disable this in the perspective mode. Now we need to match up this thread, just move it position like this. So I can, let me select everything here, XX, scale it in a bit more like this, and then position this roughly. I want distance from here to here to be roughly equal to distance from here to here. I just move it slightly. Yeah, so that should do. Then select all of these vertices below, yeah, and then we duplicate it, Shift D, and then separate it, P. Then we can move this to trash collection like this, So this is our thread object. Select this object, convert to curve. So I'm going to make this thread curve round, following this part, this curve part, like this. I feel like this part is looking weird, so let me adjust this a bit more. I can just pull it out. Also pull this one out. And based on the side view, and just pull this out. So if we want to curve this object to this, we want to curve this object, we need extra vertices. So let me add one loop cut here, add another loop cut here, add another loop cut here, add extra loop here, also add extra loop here, add one more here, one more here. And now you can select everything here, duplicate it down, because I always want anything to interact with what we're doing. So let me just bring it up a bit slightly like this, and then put separate. Then you can select these two objects like this, go back to edit mode, and then we slide these vertices, these bottom vertices of the first object, we slide it to position, so it will be easy for us to merge and not have any issue. So you can slide this one also back to position like this. Yep. And let me just slide these ones like this. Just leave it. Yeah, and I think that is it. So we can delete this last object. So now we need to apply the scale and also the rotation of this object. Also select this object, apply rotation, and also apply scale of this object. Now we select this thread object, add a deform curve modifier, and then I drop this object as our curve. And then we can change the deform axis to, let's say, -x, like this. So -x works. So all we need to do is just bring it up, G, Y, slightly, hold down shift, bring it up like this, slightly. And we hide this reference image for now. Yeah, G, Y, and then pull it down till it meets at this curve part. So now to cover this distance, you cannot press GX and then move it like this. So we've already bent our thread around like this. So all we need to do now is select these two objects, duplicate it, move it to a new collection, let's say wheel trash, and then hide it also. Now let us bring back our circle object, which is this one, and move it back to the same collection and hide our trash. Okay, yeah. So now we can select all of this loop, outer loop here, and then duplicate it, P to separate. You can move this one back to wheel trash like this, and then we convert this to circle, to a curve rather. We convert this circle to a curve. Sorry guys, my blender crashed. So if you can see like this part has been moved away from the original position. It's because I had to restart it from some parts. So I'm so sorry for that. And you can still follow along with this. There's nothing really spoiled right here. So let us get to it. So now this is the curve object right here. So we need to add an array modifier like this, and then this is the y direction. Let's bring the x to 0, the y to 1, and then we adjust it. Go to x-ray mode and then reduce the y value like this. Go to the top view and then zoom in. So we need to close up this gap. Let me just do 0.25. It goes in too much. 0.28. Yeah, and I think this is okay. Then we can turn on the merge option to merge every other close vertices. Yeah, so this is basically the threads, and yeah, well, I think the merge option is matching some extra vertices. So all we need to do is adjust the distance to, let's say, 0.01 right here. So I think this is good. Yeah, this is good. Also switch to the x-ray mode and see if all this has matched. And yeah, there we have it. So this is our curve object. Let us convert this, or let us add a subdivision surface modifier to this object. Increase the level to 2 and then apply the modifier. Oh, we have to convert this. Oh, I converted this to a curve already, so let's convert it back to a mesh object. Add a subdivision surface modifier, increase the level to 2 and then apply. We convert this object back to curve like this. Now we can select these two objects like this, duplicate it, and then move it to a wheel trash object that is hidden. Let me disable this. Yeah, so we're having this. So we need to apply this modifier, this curve modifier, for this object, this one right here. So select this object and then apply the curve modifier. Then we can delete this curve for now, and then we can bring this, go to edit mode and then move it right at this point like this. Yeah, so now we can change this fixed count to fixed curve, and then I drop this curve as our curve object, and then we can add a curve modifier, deform curve like this, and then I drop this curve object. Yeah, so we can change our deform axis to, let's see, y, no, z, no, minus x, minus y, okay, minus y, and then we can press GZ to scale it up like this, and it is working perfectly, but the orientation is in the opposite direction. So we have to select this object, go to edit mode, select everything like this, and then we'll rotate it R, Y 180 degrees like this, and then it is corrected. We need to press GZ one more time and then bring it to position like this. Like I want the tip to follow this curve, so just bring it GZ just like this, and here we have it. So there we have our tire threads done. So before applying the area modifier, before applying the modifiers, let's go to extra mode like this, and then check where the last part clips, which is this part right here. You can see it is not joined, and that is due to the fact that the circle is smaller than the actual size of the thread. So we can just select this circle object and then scale it out a bit more. Also scale it out a bit more, just a bit like this. It's not much. So we can select these two. Okay, don't worry, no need to do that. So what you can do now is apply the RM modifier, also apply the core modifier. We can delete this inner object like this, and then we can select everything and then match by distance. Oh boy, it didn't work. Didn't work. So we have to do this one manually. I've tried every possible way to get it, but to match it, but I can't figure it out. So let me just select all of this loop like this, and then press double G, C, and then slide it bit by bit like this till it meets that part. Now we can select everything like this, match by distance. I can see 4 vertices has been matched. We can match these ones ourselves manually, match these ones to manually, match these ones manually. So view frame selected, match these vertices at center, match at center, at center. I'm gonna speed this part up. Yeah, so that is it. That has been matched for this part. This part is looking jagged compared to the reference picture right here. You can see it looks smooth and not just curve at an angle. So we have to adjust this. You can select all of this loop right here and then rotate it RX like this, just to correct that, like that. You can also switch to the other side and also adjust this other side RX like this. Yep, so that is done. Now we can select this loop, also select this loop, and you can extrude it and then scale it, hold it down, Shift X. So we are scaling in the Y and Z direction but not the X direction, so we just scale it to this point right here like this. Yeah, so what you can do now is let's see. Okay, you just have to scale it in the X direction just a bit this way, and then we can add a loop cut right here, also add a loop cut right here. Select these two and then we can XX scale it out like this, and then Ctrl B to bevel. Let me scale it out a bit more, and there we go. And now we can just shade smooth by angle, and let me dissolve this or clear sharp for this. I want this part to be smooth. You can also clear sharp for this part also, and here we go. So we can select these two loops like this, extrude it one more time, X, Shift X, let's to this point like this, and then we can just scale it in the X direction inwards like this, and then we can mark sharp for this, also mark sharp for this, and here we go. So looks like we have to do something here, so we can select this loop right here, also select the one at the back, contribute bevel just like this, and you can select this loop. Also select all of this loop, and then we can scale it in the X direction, X, SX, just a bit like this, and then we can sharpen this edge, mark sharp, also mark sharp for this. So we have that, and then do the same for this, mark sharp, also mark sharp for this, and that is our tire done. So I don't want to add the bevel modifier because it's going to increase our poly count, and for people with low PC spec, they're going to be having some lagging in their viewport, so we are just going to leave it this way, but later on you can add the subdivision modifier like this, increase the level to 2, and then I can add extra loop cut to sharpen these edges like this, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it this way. Yeah, so let me just Ctrl Z this. Yeah, so this is basically our tire. So let me just name it tire like this, and then I need to hide all of this empty, move it to trash like that, and yeah, apply the scale, also apply rotation. Yes, so let us bring back our rim also, and we need to scale our rim to match up with the wheel. So you can just select this part of the rim and then point it to this other big part like this, and we can set origin for our tire to geometry, also set origin for our rim to geometry, and then we can place our cursor to selected like this, select our rim, shift S, selection to cursor, and then scale it down like this. And scale it down, and then GX, bring it forward a bit. Let's check the orientation also. Yeah, orientation is correct, but this red part that is showing, you have to cover it. So we can just place our cursor of this. Okay, add a circle of, let's say 32 vertices, and then all we just need to do is rotate it 90 degrees in the right direction, scale it to this point right here, and we can move it backwards like this. GX, yeah, and then we can extrude this part in the X direction like this. It looks like okay, and then we can just extrude this, scale it out like this. I think I have to bring this back. Yeah, and then we can just press Shift Auto Smooth, and that should fix that, and that should fix that. Yeah, now we need to model the brake disc. So what you can do is let us add a circle and then scale it down to match with this part, RY 90 also. Let's scale it down a bit more and then bring it back like this. And then we can, let's say, fill this face, extrude. Let's just insect first, delete this face, select everything here, extrude it like this, and you can select this vertices, duplicate it, bring it out like this, extrude this, and scale it out just to cover some parts, and we can select this, extrude it one more time like this. I can select all of this, bring it in roughly. I'm just doing this roughly, just like a rough block out. Let me add a bevel modifier to this, scale, reduce the amount, and create this segment. Also adding normals, shade smooth by angle. So basically we're just doing a rough block out for that, and the texturing is gonna fix all of this. So I can scale this down a bit more because of the brake rather. So now for the brake is another long part to model. I'm not gonna model it in this series. I'm gonna import a brake from an existing model, so I also provide the file for you to use. So this video is getting too long, and yeah, so I can just go back to file, append. Okay, this is it. Yeah, so we can just place our cursor to selected brake disc, brake, and then we can just scale it down like this, position this accordingly. You can isolate all of this, move it in X direction, scale it down a bit more, bring it down like this, scale it down. Yeah, and then on hide. So all we need to do now is just bring all of this backwards to avoid that clipping. Parent everything to this tire, so you can just select everything like this, Ctrl P, keep transform, and then if you select this tire, you can easily move it around, rotate it also. Yeah, so let us bring back our BMW body. Yep, and then we need to scale it down and then position it right. Let's scale it down a bit more and then bring it up, scale it down, bring it up. And you can bring it in this way, and let me turn on the blueprint and see. Looks like the width of the tire is too small compared to the reference. Yeah, it's looking small compared to the reference. But okay, I can just scale it in the X direction bits, and then bring it back to position like this, and then we can apply scale back. So that's basically just it. Yeah, and we can select all of this, select hierarchy, and then we duplicate it. Okay, wait, let me bring this one back out. Yeah, then we can select hierarchy, shift D, duplicate it, and then move it in the right direction this way. Also position it to match up with the reference. Oh boy, I'm feeling some kind of dizziness. You can select all of these to select hierarchy, shift D, duplicate it, move it in the X direction like this. Select this one, RZ 180. Select this one also, RZ 180. And then you can select these two tires and then move it to position also. Just like this. And then I like to move this one out a bit more. Yeah, so this is the BMW modeling. Let me just move all of this up, move it up, move this to the side, move this up. Right guys, so we are done with the modeling of this BMW car. It was really a long process, and I really appreciate those of you that followed along. Yeah, I really appreciate you, and you can share your process on my Discord server. The link is in the description, and you can share your process. If you are having any issue also and you want me to help, you can just share the issue you're having on the Discord, and I'll reach out to you and help you with the modeling. And all the reference for this car will also be provided on that Discord server. So thank you once again for watching. In the next part we will deal with the unwrapping, and after that part I'll convert this model to a game ready model, because right now we're having 1.5 million polygons, so I have to reduce this to like 20k polygons, or if possible 10k. So and I also texture it and then provide the file for sale. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching once again. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and it really helps me. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in the next part.